Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see, this time we are going to check fresh release from Zoukei Mura. It is molded in 1/32 scale and it barely fits on the table, but it copies Henschel 129B-2 R3, so it's quite an interesting aircraft from World War II. You can see it on the box art. That's a twin-engine aircraft in 1/32 scale, so maybe that's why box is that big. And here you can see comparison with my hand, it's not even the whole box. But we are going to check it closer in today's video. This is a commercial sample, so it means you will get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video. And of course I will be happy to hear your opinion afterwards. So let's start. First of all, I have already mentioned that box is enormously big. I mean, that's a 1/32 scale, so there is nothing surprising, but still, it is impressive. Here on the side we have some safety devices which are written in 2 languages, then we have main features of the kit which are written in Japanese. Frankly speaking, I am not sure why Zoukei Mura keeps writing all this stuff in Japanese, because I mean, we do not understand it obviously, and here you can see also another list of the features. They're also written in Japanese, and again we don't understand anything. Well, at least there are pictures, maybe this will give you some idea. So, the box structure is quite interesting. First of all, I have to say that Zoukei Mura is really good in packaging the kits. I mean, I couldn't show it to you how the kit arrived to me, but believe me, whole kit was wrapped in foam. In the foam sheets, not in the bubble wrap or something else, but in the foam. That's the next level of the packaging in my opinion. And that's really cool. I mean, for this price, that's something I would expect, and in my opinion, Zoukei Mura managed to show the, or let's say maintain the level of the quality. Next we go on with this box. So you saw that I removed the color printed top lid, and then we have this sturdy white, actually this is not a white, this is brown cardboard box, and inside I'll try to open it. Just give me a second. Okay, we managed to open. So here you can see what we have inside. A lot of brown plastic spruce, surprising color for Zoukei Mura. And frankly speaking, I'm not sure why it was decided to choose such huge box, because there is plenty of empty space. You can see it here. So maybe it was done in order to preserve everything intact. Maybe it was just the standard box size for Zoukei Mura, who knows. But now I'm trying to place it somewhere on my table so that we can check it closer. Okay. So each frame is packed into the separate sealed plastic bag, which is traditional feature of Zoukei Mura kit. And now I just need to use scissors in order to open it, and we will take a closer look. So just give me a second. In the meantime, let me remind you that we are a non-profit channel, so if you would like to support us and you would like to help us to develop a bit more, then you can press the donate button on our website. It is quite easy to do because it's done via PayPal, and of course you will be the one who will decide how much we will get for new photo and video equipment. So here you can see first plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to fuselage halves. Also here we have tail wings and separate elevators. I would like to zoom in even more so that you can see the external detailing on those parts. So you can notice that we have recessed panel lines and riveting. Everything looks completely fine. For 1/32 scale, I wouldn't say that this is a huge aircraft. I mean, here you can see comparison with my hand. I mean, some 1/48 scale models are bigger than this one, but here Zoukei Mura decided to take it to advantage as usual to replicate all internal components. As you can see, we have here a nice internal detailing in the fuselage halves. We also have guiding elements for those fuselage halves, which is really cool. And I'm not sure if the internal structure will be possible to expose it somehow with standard means, but of course nobody stops you from doing the cut sections and exposing what is hidden inside. And in a second I'll show you what you can copy in this kit. So we are going on with next plastic sprue. Here it is. This one is absolutely the same size as the previous one, but here we have the, for example, fuel tank, we also have some of the internal components and radio stations here, some of the equipment in the cockpit, landing gear wheel, which should be glued out of two halves, so here I would rather get the resin replacement. But let's zoom in even more so that you can check all these parts closer. Here they are. Molding quality looks great. I mean, in comparison with previous 1/32 scale releases from Zoukei Mura, here we have a significant improvement. I mean, you can see it on the attachment points. They're thin enough in order to carefully separate all those parts. And of course we have detailing from both sides of the parts, because these are interior elements, so they should be detailed from both sides, otherwise it would look weird. Okay, next, plastic sprue. Again, give me some time to cut through. Frankly speaking, I'm surprised that Zoukei Mura does not attend the Spielwarenmesse, because they could impress everybody with this kit. And here you can see, for example, another plastic sprue. The most notable thing here is the instrument panel, so I am going to zoom in even more. And here you can see these two parts. They look nice in my opinion, especially for out-of-the-box detailing. This is really a great level of detailing. Here you can see also cockpit floor and some of the internal components as well. That's the pilot seat, by the way, which is molded as a one-piece element. Here you can see it from another side. So as I said, everything looks cool, and note that even instrument panels, they have detailing from the rear side as well. And that's not something you'll meet in every plastic kit today, in my opinion. Next we go on with another plastic sprue. Again, I'm cutting through the plastic bag so that we can check it ASAP. So, here we have parts for machine guns, and I won't zoom out so that you can see everything closer. And that's really cool that the main body of the machine gun, as you can see, it is molded separately from the barrels. So basically you can update barrels without, let's say, involving a lot of operations with the main body of the machine gun. That's really cool, but even the standard barrels, they look more or less fine. They should be okay for out-of-the-box build, but of course if you would like to see more, then you have to resort to metal parts. And I think Zoukei Mura should offer them on official website, so if you would like to get everything in one package, you can order it directly from Zoukei Mura. Now just give me a second to open another plastic bag. Well, another option, if you want to save some money, you can get it from some aftermarket manufacturer, because these are standard German machine guns, so I guess there won't be any problem in finding a decent upgrade. Here we have another plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to cooling parts, so as you can see, we have here parts for different versions as far as I can guess, because obviously all parts won't be used on the same aircraft. Here inside you can see that we have also guiding pins inside, which should help you with alignment of those parts together. And I mean, that's the main hint that Zoukei Mura prepares some other versions in the future, so we should stay tuned and follow their updates. But it is also, let's say, in the same style as previous 1/32 scale releases. Some of them were, let's say, released in several versions, so that's why it's not that surprising here as well. Next we go on with another plastic sprue. Here again we have halves for the engine gondolas, and external detailing looks really great. I mean, here you can see it closer. It says panel lines and riveting is present on the necessary spots. Here we go on with some of the parts for wheel wells, as far as I can guess, and those are the special levers for ailerons, as far as I can guess, but we will check it in assembly manual. Here you can see that engine gondolas are not empty inside, which is really cool. I mean, there are not that many 1/32 scale kits which copy those things as well. That might sound surprising, but it is like this, and I'm not sure why it is like this. I mean, 1/32 scale implies that more parts should be detailed out of the box, but not many manufacturers actually follow this approach. Next we go on with clear plastic frame, just like the previous spruce, it is packed into the separate plastic bag, that's why I need 1 second to open it. So here we have canopy ports. Let's zoom in a bit. Canopy parts, instrument panels, more parts for the cockpit, and canopy, frankly speaking, it reminds me of the Apache helicopter. I am not sure why, maybe because of this angular shape, but it looks great. And as far as I remember, Zoukei Mura includes masks for their 1/32 scale kits, so we will have to check it in this kit. Next we go on with another plastic sprue. Again, I am cutting through the plastic bag, so 1 moment please. Frankly speaking, I wonder if Zoukei Mura will also follow the trend and go into the 1/72 scale model sets, because we saw the Horton at 1/72, so it might be a sign of something new. Maybe they will move into, let's say, cheaper price segment. Here we have some other fuselage parts as well as the tail section parts. As you can see, everything is molded in a quite nice quality. Here some parts have the guiding elements inside, or they have the inner detailing as well, so that they won't be empty inside. Okay, next we have another sprue, and I'm not sure if it is the same. Just give me a second. Yes, it is the same. So here you can see it, so that you can believe me, let's say. That's again F sprue with these cowling parts. Frankly speaking, I'm not sure why it is given in 2 pieces. I guess we will be using only 2 parts for each gondola from each frame, but we will see it in assembly manual. Now I'm going on with smaller plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to landing gear. So here it is. So main landing gear wheels should be glued out of 2 halves, and that's not such a cool feature in 1/32 scale, but they're quite nicely detailed. I mean, for out of the box build, this is a really great offering, and with some careful painting you will get even more impressive appearance. Here we have also landing gear legs, and note that brake lines are also present and molded out of plastic. They're not replicated with PE, as some of you might think. So for the landing gear wheels, I would rather recommend, if you have extra budget, replace them with resin parts, because in 1/32 scale such upgrade will be noticeable, and model overall appearance of the model will benefit from such addition. And of course, I mean, if you are let's say brave enough to spend on such 1/32 scale kit, it would be strange not to spend on some minor add-ons which will improve overall result. Here you can see another plastic sprue. This one is dedicated to 2 propellers, and note that attachment points are placed right on the blades, so that's not such a cool thing to have. Next we go on with these firewalls, propeller hubs. So obviously everything goes into pairs, and it will be distributed between engine gondolas. But overall molding quality is on the same level, and I really appreciate the improvement of the quality. I mean, considering what we got in the previous releases, here we get significantly more fine, I would say, molding, which should be easier to work with, which should be easier to, let's say, assemble. Here we have ailerons and front slats. Maybe those are flaps, if I'm not wrong. I think these are flaps. So they're molded separately. They're molded as one piece. No, they're not one piece. So basically you have to combine here 2 halves together. But at least ailerons are molded separately. The only thing you have to attach is the levers, which we saw separate on one of the plastic frames. Okay, next we go on with one more plastic frame. This one is dedicated to the machine gun gondola, as far as I can understand, or cannon actually gondola, because that's a huge gun, especially in 1/32 scale. It looks impressive. So just give me a second. Okay, so here it is. And this one big gun, it is, I mean, I'm quite amazed with the level of detailing. As you can see, barrel looks good, and I'm not even sure if it's worth replacing it because it is completely fine out of the box. Here you can check what we have inside. So the only thing which is divided into two halves is the main body of the cannon, but I think that's not such a serious problem to have out of the box. Next we go on with special sprue for the external equipment. Again, I'm cutting through the plastic bag, so please be patient a bit. I'm also preparing the article about the DSV award. I'm not sure if it will be online when this video will be published, but stay tuned because we are usually giving out the Best Model of the Year DSV award on Nuremberg Toy Show, and we'll tell you which models won and which models should be bought for your collection because they're actually the best models of 2019. So here we have some of the external equipment. It means fuel tank and also bombs. Everything looks completely fine, and that's really cool that we have them out of the box because some manufacturers are, let's say, saving the costs and they are trying to do them as a separate accessory sets and blah 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 so that you spend extra money. Here we get all necessary things out of the box, and that's really cool. Okay, we go on with another plastic frame. This one is dedicated, I guess, to the tail section of this aircraft, but we will check the assembly manual. And again, molding quality seems to be fine. Here you can see what we have inside, so no negative things to say about it. Next we get pair, I think these are absolutely identical plastic frames, yes. So there are two identical frames with engine parts. I guess there is no need to explain why. So I'm going to open only one because they carry absolutely the same set of parts and there is no use in showing them again and again. So here it is. And just like in any Zoukei Mura kit, here we have a really nicely detailed engine, so I would recommend to spend some time painting it. Even out of the box version should look good, so be sure to spend some time while trying to get a decent result with paint work. And here you can see that engine house will have to be glued together, but note that inside we have even pistons replicated, which is really cool. I mean, it won't be visible, but still it is cool. These pistons are used as a guiding elements, and also, I mean, as long as we know that there is something inside, that's cool. Okay, here is another sprue in case you're interested. And next we go on with slightly bigger frames because they're dedicated to wing parts. And this model, it has not that long fuselage, but it has a really impressive wingspan. So be sure to use the metal rod in order to strengthen the whole assembly, because otherwise I can't imagine how those parts will be staying in place. And here you can see special frame with whole inner structure for the wing. We have also fuel tanks which will be inserted into the slots. I mean, it looks great. And what is even better is that all those parts come as one-piece elements, so basically you won't have to do anything, you have to delete those middle bars and that's pretty much all. So don't be afraid of working with separate panels and blah blah blah. Here you get the right alignment out of the box, you just insert those parts between wing halves and you are good to go. Here you can check those parts from another side. Of course, each part which is divided into two halves, we have the guiding pins inside for easier alignment, so also, let's say, separate thank you for this. And last plastic sprue is dedicated to wing panels, as you can guess. Now I'm trying to open it. Actually, that is the biggest sprue in the kit. But still it is smaller than the box, so frankly speaking I'm not sure why it was decided to choose such huge box and then have this sprue which fits on our table. So here we have wing parts. As you can see, it is not as simple as it might look to be, because you have to combine all those panels together. You have to add also the engine gondolas, and here inside you can notice that we have guiding elements which will help you with proper alignment of those huge parts together. We can also zoom in so that you can check the external detailing of those parts. It looks fine for this scale in my opinion. And again, I recommend to play with some painting techniques in order to get even more impressive result out of this. Then on the bottom of the box we have the separate plastic bag with decals, assembly manual and also advert. So just give me a second to remove them all. But here we have also the special bonus, which I'm not sure why Zoukei Mura keeps adding it only to the 1/32 scale kits. That's the mask sheet, so that's a traditional bonus for 1/32 scale models. You won't find it in the smaller scale kits from Zoukei Mura, which is not that cool in my opinion, but well, we have it here, so there is nothing to complain about. Next we go on with decal sheet. So decals are printed on one decal sheet. I will show it just like this, even though it has the vertical layout. Decal sheet comes from cartograph. Here we have decals not only for the camouflages, we have also stencils, we have cockpit decals, which is really cool. And of course, if you would like to have more, you can get some PE set, but even the instrument panel in decal, as a decal, it looks really great. So I think it should be fine for out-of-the-box build in case you are let's say not eager to spend extra on fine detailing. Next we go on with this. So as you can see here we have the small advert for other kits from the same brand. Note that Sky Raider will be released in 1/32 scale. It's written that it's new set. We also have the here what is written here, so all kits in 2019, blah blah blah. All those kits were reviewed on our YouTube channel, so if you would like to check them, just type in the name and you'll find the review. But those Sky Raiders are quite interesting, I hope we will check them quite soon. And last but not the least is this. So that's the stuff I like about Zoukei Mura, is that they do really nice assembly manual design. As you can see, it looks like the manual for original or let's say real aircraft. It's quite thick brochure, and here on the first page we go on with history note, not with some parts maps and some other stuff. Here we get overall a look at the aircraft, and don't be afraid, here we have English text as well, so it should be understandable for everybody. Then we go on with necessary tools and also science and paints chart. Here we start with engine, and each section, each chapter starts with the list of parts you need for the assembly. Here you can see the finished state. And then we start the assembly process itself. That's really cool. I mean, every step is explained. It tells you what are you doing, what is this part, why you insert in here or there. And maybe also quite handy thing is that we have here the color printed views of those parts so that you understand how to paint it. And note that engine stand is included. So in case you would like to close the cowlings, you don't want to open them on your model, you can use the engine stand in order to display the engine. I mean, it deserves this, and it can be even considered as a separate kit. Next we go on with cockpit. Again we get pictures of the assembled cockpit, and then we go on with assembly process. Note that there are two options for the instrument panel assembly, so it will be up to you which one you choose. Then we go on with painting, and here again we get small inserts or small sections with pre-painted parts or already finished parts. Then we assemble the ramp or fuselage. So with fuselage it will be quite funny, because as you can see a lot of parts will be involved. What you're doing first is replicating the inner structure of the aircraft, and then you closing it between the fuselage. So here you can see whole step. All those steps will have to be inserted even in the tail area where it will be barely visible. That's why I was saying it's worth thinking how to expose all the stuff, maybe to do some cutout in the fuselage, because otherwise it will be a shame to hide all this stuff in the aircraft. The same, let's say, applies to the wings. Next we go on with wings. So for the wings you have to assemble the engine gondolas, and also engine gear system here is being assembled. And we go on with machine guns. That's the nose. skin. It's written here, so these were separate panels for the nose area. And that's really cool. I mean, we do not have the, let's say, fuselage cut points here. We get one piece part, which should make the overall appearance a bit more natural and smooth, and you avoid any unnecessary work with gaps and edges. Here we go on with installation of the engine, and as you can see, these two cooling panels, they're closing together. You have to paint them inside as well. And next we go on with tail wings assembly. So here you get also alignment guide, so that you get the right alignment of the wings, landing gear and tail wings. Next we go on with final outfitting. It means all control surfaces, canopy, also the propellers and some other stuff, some minor parts, they will be installed here. Of course you can replicate the open or closed hatches in some places. And that's a cannon, I think, is being assembled, 30mm cannon, and I guess it will be installed in the nose area. Nope. It is installed... yeah, it is installed under the fuselage, so in the special gondola, as you remember. Next we continue with the gun sight, propeller, canopy. Then here we have the pitot tube details, bombs. Oh, it will be a lot of work. And here we have first marking option. It's really cool that we have marking guide shown with help of the real model. That's not the 3D image. So this aircraft comes from February 1943. And that's pretty much all. Only one marking option. Come on! And here we have parts map in the end, and that's pretty much all. So I'm not sure how many pages, 51 page inside in this manual. That's quite impressive manual, almost book. And for the marking options, all I can say, you can find some alternative aftermarket sets on the market. So if you would like to get it, I mean, to get something different, you can buy it and use it with this model. As for the model kit, it should be already available on official Super Winx series or Zoukei Mura website, and of course you can get it directly there together with some other models from this brand. Of course I will be happy to hear your opinion about this kit here in the comment section below. If you like this video, don't forget to press the like button, because it helps us greatly and it shows your appreciation, and I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today and watching this one video review. I will see you next time. And bye!